I want to thank you for letting me be the opening speaker at this year's $1 Million Roundtable, because it helps me to fulfill my mission and purpose in life, and that is to seek out venues to tell people who are in the life insurance business something that you seldom hear but that you richly deserve, and that is that you live a life of significance. And let's look at the facts. You sell intrinsic value. Guarantees have intrinsic value. You see, the difference between you and some of the people who criticize you is the fact that you always talk to people about things that are important and just not popular. It's also important to note that intrinsic value is not measured by how much money you make, but by the size of the problem that you can solve. And you tell me another profession that solves problems bigger than this. You protect the innocent when someone dies prematurely so that people have peace of mind. You provide people with a worry-free retirement with an income they can't outlive so that they can maintain their independence. You protect their assets when they get sick, and you provide legacy, that's where it is. Legacy when they die. And you tell me if that's not a life of significance. It's also important to note that the right brain buys and the left brain justifies. See, the right brain is the emotional part of the brain. That's the part where people make commitments. The left part is only the part where the analytical end is. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that we have allowed ourselves to be seduced in the past decade by a raging bull market, by advances in technologies and illustrations, the acquisition of new products and services, that in our quest to be like everyone else, we have become just like everyone else, marginalized by the commodity-type products that we sell. And today is the day that we recapture our soul to sell the products that are important and just not popular. See, when I was selling, I was very much driven by a success model. And you know what that made me do? Every time I showed a proposal, I would ask people, what do you think about this? Don't ask people what they think about things. Ask them how they feel about it. When you're asking people to think, you're communicating with them. When you're asking people to feel, you're connecting with them. When you're asking people to think, you're looking for a decision. When you're asking people to feel, you're looking for a commitment. When you're asking people to think, you're dealing with their net worth. When you're asking people to feel, you're dealing with their self-worth. The future determines who we are. See, the old Hebrew Bible had it right. It says that when the old men stop dreaming dreams and the young men lose their vision, the people perish. And when you show someone a plan, you help those people envision what their future can be. The products that you sell help to guarantee that future. In short, you give meaning and purpose in people's lives, and tell me that that's not a life of significance. What's wrong? Why is the business so tough? A lot of it happens to be down to our selling system. See, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the selling systems that we have adopted anticipate the idea of motivated buyers. Ladies and gentlemen, most people, healthy, normal, healthy human beings, are not motivated to buy the important stuff we sell. Why? Because they don't sit around and think about their death and dismemberment every 5 minutes. If we did, we'd be a drag to be around. Why get out of bed if I'm going to die? So as a result of the fact that people are in denial, of the fact that they could die or get disabled, and you foist yourselves upon them, or worse yet, you don't really tell the people what you do for a living, they don't trust your motives. And we have to deal with that up front to make certain that people understand that you understand. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this business is not about you, and it's not about he or she you happen to be speaking to. It happens to be about them, the innocents who are afflicted by the decisions or non-decisions that are made. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, we have some critics. They're called beneficiaries. Do you know that the average person in the United States is insured up to only 2.5 times his income? It begs the question, how long do you expect to be dead? Contrast that with the World Trade Center debacles, where wrongful death suits came up to 20 to 30 times the amount that the people had made. You must start selling the coverages that people need, where beneficiaries don't just survive, but they thrive. Think of how you will feel, or better still, how the community will feel about you when you start delivering death claims that are 10 and 20 times the amount of income. That is what your sacred charge, and that's what living a life of significance is all about.